Coach Cook, head boys basketball coach at Hamilton Heights Christian Academy. And you know I'm always locked in with my brothers, Rel and Wood, with Power Forward.
What's up, y'all? This is Rico White. Y'all locked in with Rel and Wood, and this is the Power Forward Podcast.
Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy AJ, Jizzle, Money, Bubba, whatever you want to call me. I'm a professional basketball player. Support my boy Rel and Wood podcast. It's gonna be elite. I'm telling you now.
What's up, world? Kendrick Tate, aka KTZ. Yo, when I power forward, it's got to be with Rail and Wood.
Welcome back. You're here with another episode of Power Forward with your boy Rel and Wood.
Man, Wood, it's good to be back, man. We've been off for a minute, man.
Been off for a minute, but we back with a special guest.
Back with a special guest today, man. My sister, man. Got my sis in the building today. Got my sister, Roshana Jackson, here today with us, man.
Bro,
what's good?
Not too much. Just been sitting around. Ain't been much to do with COVID.
yeah.
Right.
Hey, Ro, before we get any further, I gotta go and ask you, what was your most embarrassing moment on the basketball court?
Ooh. I'm gonna tell you because after the game, I actually cried because I was so embarrassed. At UNC playing against Ivory Ladder, we was getting drilled anyway, but I had a steal for a wide open layup and cornered the backboard.
Oh no!
I was so embarrassed. So embarrassed.
Man. Hey, don't worry about it. It happened to the best
man.
of us.
Cornered the backboard. I mean, it was terrible.
You said you was at North Carolina?
Yeah, we was at North Carolina.
Mm.
It was terrible. They had a
Okay, it
squad.
was on you.
They had a squad.
That's what's up, man. So, Ro, man, for everybody who don't know you and stuff like that, tell them where you from.
I'm from Southwest Virginia. I went to high school at Appalachia. A 1A school. It was probably from when I moved to Tennessee. I had never heard of a middle school before. Ours went straight from elementary to high school. So kindergarten through 7th grade was elementary. 8th grade through 12th grade was high school. So I went to a school from 8th grade to 12th grade with 240 students.
Oh, wow.
Everybody knows everybody.
I didn't know everybody. And not only that, I was a minority. So
Oh,
So, yeah, what's the demographic like there in West Virginia?
Virginia.
In Virginia, I'm sorry, my bad.
Let's put it this way. All the black people that was there was probably kin to you.
Right.
hey,
See my son, then you'll understand.
Right. So, one of the reasons why we had you on here is, definitely because I looked at I thought about you because I felt like basketball has been a real instrumental part in your life. It just keeps finding you. When did you first start playing? Or when did you pick up a ball really?
I played basketball probably when I was 4. My mom, she coached at the high school with my high school coach, and my mom's baby sister was on that team. So me and the coach's son and daughter, we, at practice playing and, so I always kind of been around the game my whole life.
Oh, that's what's up. I didn't know your mom was a coach.
Yep, my mom coached me all the way through elementary school. So whenever I got to high school is when, obviously I played for the high school coach.
was she hard on you?
She really wasn't hard on me because she was more of one of those kind of players or coaches that was more about team and more about, it wasn't about winning all the time. She would pick the, bottom of the barrel players and put them around me, but she wouldn't allow me just to go and be, the all-star. She would take me out and be like, all right, y'all got to figure it out. And that's the kind of player that I was. I was never one of those players that just wanted to score when that's what I really needed to be doing. So I always was a player that always got everybody else involved. So, I mean, and I guess that's what she taught me as growing up till, till now.
What's up? What position was you playing like when you first started when you were younger?
Every position you could think of.
Hey, could you handle that thing though?
Could I handle? I mean, I could handle the ball. You look at the game now compared to what it was then. Like back then, if you was faster and you could pretty much dribble and dodge people, you were straight. But now with the game, you got to have a lot more skill. That you would just outwork people, and I was a lot faster. I was a 4-sport athlete in high school, so I was had a lot of different other tools that made my game of basketball better. So
yeah. Dang, 4 sports, Wood.
yeah, I'm all state and all four. So I mean, I just always loved sports. So it's just kind of
slow down, bro. You was all state and what?
All 4 sports.
Golly.
Look at it.
I know your Leatherman jacket looked amazing.
If I still had it, I'd show it to you. But
So what sport? What all did you play?
I played basketball, obviously, volleyball. I was the middle hitter in volleyball. I played softball. I played first base, and I pitched. And I ran track. So I am a state champion in basketball and a state champion in the 400 meters and a state champion in the 100 hurdles. 2 times.
What? I wish I could see the tape on you on them hurdles. Yeah. I would be dying laughing, man.
I mean, I got some VHSs for you that you could check.
Oh yeah, we're going to have to dig them up one weekend. You should have never told me that.
Right. We got to find them.
For sure, man.
So what out of the 4 sports, what made you pick basketball to stick with basketball?
Basketball was I think basketball was, the way sports are now, there's not that many. Like now you got club volleyball. There was no such thing. You just played high school and that was pretty much it. Yeah. So the only thing we really had that you could travel and actually be better at was basketball. So basketball just kind of picked me really because I loved track. I was just naturally good at track, but you just play during your seasons in high school, and that was pretty much it. So there was no track clubs and AAU track, and going to there just wasn't that kind of stuff. So basketball was kind of like the only thing that I could compete in year round.
Right. So I guess you really didn't have a choice. We usually ask people like, why'd you pick the high school did you pick? But from the sounds of it, it was pretty much set in stone. You was going to that school in that town. Right. Cool. So, when you get to high school, what was the situation like? Was you one of these players that as soon as you got there, you was on varsity playing a lot of minutes freshman year, or was it different? Was your progression different than that?
No, it was pretty much it was about the same. My 8th grade year, obviously I was a sub freshman, so I played on the 8th grade team and our team won it out. My freshman year, it was a lot of seniors on the team, and of course, with any sport, there's a lot of politics and this, that, and the third. I played my freshman year. I didn't start my freshman year, but I got a lot of minutes my freshman year. So.
Okay. That's what's up.
So with it being in a situation like that, were you able to play high school as an 8th grader, or did you have to wait till you hit 9th grade to play high school?
I had to play. I didn't get to play like varsity until my freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the school, what was your career high in points and rebounds?
In high school?
In high school, yeah.
Now that's gonna tell my age because I really can't remember. I think
right.
I went
21,
for a couple.
Y'all.
You said 21?
Yeah, 21, y'all.
I went for a couple 30-point games. I think the most I ever scored in a game was 40. But like I said, I was I had to score in order for us to win, but I was not that player that always, like I was always the player that wanted to get everybody involved. So even though it sounded like 40 points, that's a lot. It was not like, it was 40 points, like people missing, rebound, you know, stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
the ball did go through me a lot, but it wasn't like, you know, I scored every point. Nothing like that. So, I mean, I scored quite a bit of points in high school. I mean, I scored 1,000 my sophomore year. I scored my 2,000 points my senior year. So, I mean, I scored quite a bit of points. But if you were to really look at it, like if I was to play like these kids play now, I would have probably been at the top of the record book in Virginia for most points. But that just wasn't my game. So,
For sure, for sure. So I want to ask you this. You know, you keep talking about like kind of your outlook on the game. Was there any? Who did you pattern your game after? Were there any people who you kind of tried to imitate?
when I was uh, when I was in high school, I was a big Lady Voss fan. Big Lady Voss fan.
Yeah.
Shamika Holtzclaw was somebody the Meeks, that was the group of girls that I watched. So I was a Shamika Holtzclaw fan, and
Yeah,
so
I love it. So, what was your mentality? Like, you know, I hear you saying, you know, you're gonna get rebounds because, you know, I'm a assistant high school coach and I've coached a little bit of middle school ball and stuff like that. And, you know, it's just hard. It's hard to you know, I guess to get kids to rebound, man. People to get to willing to go rebound the ball and do some of that dirty work. So
right.
what is it about you that made you, you know, be willing to do those things?
I think it was just more that I just had the heart, and whenever there was a ball loose, it was like attack mode for me. So if there was a rebound or a loose ball or scrambling on the ground or diving out of whatever, I was that person. So
I love it. I love it.
Need those.
Yeah. So check this out. So when in high school did you start to when in high school did it get to a point to where you like, man, I might could do something at the next level, or I might, you know, I might have a future in this past high school.
I think that was kind of always like that. Always people from where I was from, they always, you know, when it came to sports and when my name was brought up in sports, I was always, dang, that Roshana Jackson girl, she can play. And it wasn't even just basketball. It was, you know, all the sports that I played. So I knew if it wasn't basketball, it would have been something else. So
Right.
I guess I just kind of always knew, and I just always felt like people was always in my ear and saying that, you know, you could go play this game, you know, past high school. And
How that make you feel though when that's your reputation around town?
well, I mean, very humble person. It wasn't even to the point where it was my reputation. It was just that was just the person that I was, and that person that I had always been. I had been around sports my whole life. So it wasn't really something that just made my head big or anything that made me feel like I was just that person. It was just, because I mean, at the end of the day, like being minority, being a Black female athlete. So you have, you know, your guys that you could probably beat that play on the varsity team. You know what I mean? So it was just I got picked on a lot just because I was taller than everybody. So not only was I a minority, I was taller than everybody. So, you know, people picked on me. So there was never a time that I didn't want to use my height and the person that I was as an athlete to like get in the shadows because I was intimidated by people picking on me. I just was like, well, it don't matter because I can beat you.
Right. So, I love that, man. I love that mentality.
Tell us about like how your recruitment went.
It was pretty much throughout high school. And, you know, now you got these big time programs that kids play for, and so many of programs. Well, when I was growing up, you had your, mom and pop AAU teams. It wasn't even a program. You just had teams.
Right.
So I was on a pretty decent team for our area, but it was one tournament we went out in like the Salem area, like not, I wouldn't say like the middle, like the Salem area. I guess that is kind of middle of Virginia. Played in a tournament, and we played against my team played against the Boo Williams team. And the coach of that team, his daughter played on the team too. And till this day, I will give him pretty much I'll give him a lot of credit for putting me in a position to go to the next level. Because, you know, I played on an AAU team. It wasn't even a program, it was a team. And we just so happened to be at the right tournament at the right time. That coach reached out to my coach and was like, we got to have that girl. So Boo Williams came up to my coach, and he was kind enough of a man to be like, hey, and he was like trying to get his daughter on the team. And he was like, hey, we got to have that girl. So he told my mom. My mom packs me up, and one of the closest players that played on the team closest to me was still like 3.5 hours away. We didn't know this person from the man in the moon. My mom dropped me off with this girl's parent. She lived with her dad, and me and the girl, so we were like 16, me and the girl drove from Roanoke all the way to Virginia Beach together and stayed at like different players' house that we had no idea who they were all summer long. And after that, it flew from there.
That's the ground.
Pat Summit. I played in front of Florida. I played in front of any big time program that you can think of for women's basketball.
Man.
And after that, I was getting letters. Here's one of the letters from 2000. This is my high school that Pat Summit wrote to my coach.
Oh, man.
I would frame that.
Oh, man.
The legend.
And what's crazy about it is that my high school, I didn't even know anything about that until probably about a month ago. My high school coach sent it to me in the mail.
Oh, man. So you just got that?
Huh?
I
have a handwritten letter by Pat Summit when I was around my senior year, that it's in my scrapbook, but I have a handwritten letter from Pat Summit.
Man.
I mean, that's where I was gonna go. That's where my mind was set on. That's where I was gonna go at that time when I was in high school. But
right.
You know, things changed, and you know,
that's what. God. So, you know, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to even talk about it. But explain to us how you got to that school up there in whatever town that is, man.
Well, I took a different route to play Division I. I played at JUCO. I played two years of JUCO. I had my son my senior year, or at the end of my senior year. So, you know, once the news got out that I got pregnant, a lot of coaches kind of fell off, and all through elementary, high school, I always went to the Virginia Tech individual camp. So Virginia Tech was always in there just because I went to camp there every summer. And, but I always there was something about, I went to the Lady Boss camps like all through high school too. So it was always a tight race with them. But once I got pregnant, the lady, Pat Summit kind of backed off, and I went the JUCO route. So, before she recruited out of JUCO. And I went and played at Hiwassee for 2 years and went to the national tournament there. Both years I was there. And then after that, like I said, Virginia Tech, they was just tried and true the whole time through my junior college, my high school, I would even say elementary school. So
they was like, yeah, we're going to get you no matter what.
It was kind of a messed up situation, even though when I went there. So Bonnie Hendrickson was the coach that recruited me to come to Tech, and that's who I was in contact with for several years. And I signed my letter of intent to go to Virginia Tech, and while I'm at the national tournament, my sophomore year at Hawassi, I kept hearing in the midst of everybody that, hey man, we might have a chance to get her to transfer, change her mind to come to our school because Bonnie's leaving. So I was like, what? So I asked her straight up, I was like, I'm hearing that you're leaving and you're going to Kansas. And she was like, no, I'm gonna be there. I'm recruiting you. I want you to come to Tech, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be darned. The summer that I'm about to, like the couple of weeks right before I'm about to move in, she leaves.
Oh, no.
So I almost withdrew my letter of intent and just went to West Virginia because that was my next big school that I was going to go to, play for Coach Carey. So, but I stayed and stuck it out. So,
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
once you got to Virginia Tech, who was some of your teammates that really pushed you every day?
One of my teammates that really pushed me every day, her name's Erin Gibson, and she was a big post player. I was undersized for a post player, believe it or not. Our biggest post player was 6'6", and I'm 6'1". So, and Erin 6'4", and then the other one was 6'4", and then I was the smallest one actually. So, but Erin, she was a beast in the weight room. She was a beast on the court. Like she was tough.
That's what's up. Man, she had an experience with being able to go play in the ACC.
Yeah.
You had to play with some big dog. Hey, you couldn't hide in the ACC, could you?
Nowhere. And that was the inaugural season for the ACC, the year that I went. So that was 2004. So that was our first year in the ACC.
Okay. So who were some of the people you went up against?
Elena Beard, Christy Bass, Monique Curry, Christy Tolliver, Chris Langhorn, Khadijah Whitty. I mean, the list will go on and on and on. A lot of these girls still play in the league, so
yeah.
But
let me ask you this: who cooked you?
Who cooked me?
For real.
There wasn't a lot of cookings, but like I said, I was undersized, but like I was always one of those persons that worked hard. So before you could cook me, I was probably gonna foul you before you could cook me. So, it wasn't really. There really wasn't one of those. I cannot remember one of those moments where you like, man, she crossed me up or she just done me in. If I was about to get done in, more than likely it was gonna be a foul.
Yeah.
So.
Nothing wrong with that at all. So what was the toughest place you played?
Oh, I mean, I'd hate to say it, but it's that shirt that you got on, school. I can't even say the word.
Cameron.
That place is so small. So small. Literally the play, like when you're taking the ball out of bounds, like they are, that right here is almost on you.
That's crazy, man. I always said I wanted to see that environment one time, man. Imagine trying to play a coach in that type of environment with that many people up on you and jumping up and down and all that kind of stuff, man. Woo.
I had a really good game at Duke, actually. So,
how many you drop on them fools?
You trying to make me tell my age? I can't remember that far.
See, hey, that just means you was a good teammate because she can't never remember her points. She just knows she had a good game.
Had a good game. Did y'all get the win in Cameron?
Never. That was probably the closest game. The one that I had a pretty decent game. That league was so tough. I mean, night in, night out. It's almost like playing football in the SEC for real.
Yeah.
Night out. It was like when you got the conference, honey, you better do good. If you want to have one of those little numbers on beside your school name, you better do good in preseason. And if you catch one of these ACC wins, then that's the only way you're going to keep it.
Right.
I think the highest rank we were when I played was like 20th, 18th or 20th. So.
Okay. So, Ro, man, I need your help. You know, it's a lot of people out here think it's all sweet, man. You know, everybody want to go to Virginia Tech. They want to say they want to go to Duke. I want a Division I scholarship, maybe to Florida State. I don't know. Dang, man. Anyway, is it easy? What's the workout like? What's the daily schedule like?
Well, you have your classes, which are already, set around your practice time. So whatever you got going on, they do great jobs of making sure you stay on track with your school work and making sure that you can also still be at practice and workouts with the team. There's no, well, I got class, I'm gonna come to go. Everybody is there at one time. They make sure of that. They make sure that your schedules are set so that everybody is at practice and workouts together. So with that being said, we would go 2 hours for practice, basketball practice, going over, doing drills and some skill stuff. Then you run through your plays, break down your plays. I think that's a lot of the game that now we lose is breaking down a play, breaking down the screen or what could possibly happen. So we did a lot of play breakdowns and, scrimmage, and both teams run the same plays. And, you would do that 2 hours. The way I sweat, so I would used to have to do a little costume change from the beginning of practice during the middle of practice because I'd be so sweaty that nobody on my team wanted to touch me. So I would get a little extra break because I had to go in the locker room and change. So, but after you practice for your 2 hours, breaking down plays, doing a little scrimmage and, going through the plays, defenses, press and stuff, go change, go put your workout, your stuff to go down to our strength and conditioning coach. They would, as soon as we walk in, they'd hand us our papers out. They'd put a group together and y'all would do all your sets and things together. Then, that was really a relief for me to just go down there and mess around with some weights and do, those kind of things. But at the end of it, when it was time to do all that running all over again, whew, that was
The grind.
and it wasn't like, a lot of the stuff, and I coach high school now, and the game now is completely different than when I played. There wasn't no, all right, well, you didn't make the time and make the whole team run again. You might do it 1 or 2 times if, it happens. But when I was in college, I don't care if we missed it 50 times. We're going to do it 50 times. So it's a different animal. That really taught me to be the person that I am now. Like, there ain't one thing that I don't do in life from start to finish. I don't care if in my mind I told myself I need to go to Walmart today. I need to go wash my car today. I need to go do whatever. If I set in my mind that I'm going to do it, it's going to get done. And that's just the mentality that they teach you. Like, it don't matter how many times it takes. You going to get it. And if we don't get it, we all going to do it again. So there was several times that I would probably go in the locker room and cry because I was so tired. So tired.
Did you ever want to give up?
Never. That never crossed my mind to give up.
I had to ask you that because you went to Virginia Tech. You know what I'm saying?
No, never wanted to give up. Never to be like, man, I can't do this. Never. And I think that's the person that I am now. I don't, like, the dumbest stuff I don't ever want to give up on. And if there was something that I told myself that I was going to do and I didn't do it, or I forgot to do it, or like the other day, I was like, dang, I forgot to get my nasal spray from Walmart. I had went to Walmart already, got everything I needed, but that was the main thing that I needed. Got in my car, turned right back around and went to Walmart just to get nasal spray. Like, that's just the person that I am.
Right.
So,
Right.
That taught me discipline, a lot of discipline.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine. So, Ro, man, what position did you play in college?
I was a small forward.
Okay. See, all right, look. Was you still undersized though to play small forward or?
Yeah, I still was.
Golly.
This is what I want to. I never really got the chance to see you hoop. So what was your game like? Like if you had to give a scouting report on yourself, what was your game?
Hard worker. You're gonna have to box her out because she's gonna try to find her way to that ball. Super, like I was always like my junior year I started quite a bit at Tech. I started off both years at Hawassi. My junior year I started quite a bit at Tech. But I was always like the energy on the floor, like always getting everybody hype and just, whenever, the game was kind of iffy, like they would put me in because they knew that I was going to bring the energy. So I was that kind of player. When I was at junior college, not saying that the best player that I ever played with was in my junior college year. She was bad.
What was her name?
Courtney Perkins. She was from South Carolina.
Okay.
He was bad.
Where did she end up going to school?
I'm sorry?
Where did she end up going to school?
He didn't.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real.
She was tough though. She was a player. But yeah, she was not saying that junior college was slack or anything because there were some great players that I played against in junior college. There was, but it wasn't Division I. So
yeah.
I scored at will in junior college, but whenever you go to the top of the level, it's completely different. So, when I was in junior college, I probably averaged about 18 points. But, when I went to Virginia Tech, I mean, I was barely averaging 3 or 4 points a game.
Yeah.
But, it was just a different type of game because at the end of the day, like, they recruiting the best players for whatever they need. So I had to learn how to be a role player when I went to Tech. And I think that's what hinders the game now is that a lot of kids don't know how to transition from being the best on their teams, high school, and then they go to the next level. They don't understand, like, sometimes I don't have to score the ball all the time, or, the ball doesn't have to be in my hands at all times. So that was probably one of the biggest adjustments is just being a role player.
For sure. Well, nowadays, man, everybody want to be the superstar, but for me, basketball is a team sport, right?
Right.
And what's the ultimate team goal? The highest, to me, achievement you can reach as a team within your season is winning the championship.
Right.
And, if you look at it, most championship teams have vital role players. Like, they might not be the superstars, but they are the glue.
Right.
They the glue that make everything work. And as a coach, I value them type of players. So, Ro, I think you could have been on one of my teams.
Hey, I think so too.
For sure, man. Ro, man, you such an inspiration as well, because I'm sitting here listening to you talk about all your experience in junior college and your experience at Virginia Tech. And at the same time, you had to handle the responsibilities of being a student first, but even before that, you still had to be a mom too.
Right.
So can you speak to some of that, like being a student athlete and being a mom? Like, what was that experience like? Do you think that made you push harder?
Absolutely. Just because I knew that I couldn't go back to where I came from.
Right.
And I would not allow my son to grow up the way that I grew up. It was hard. I lived in a cold camp where, not just me and my mom and my brother living in the house. It was me, my mom, my brother, my uncle, my great grandmother, you know what I mean? So yeah. I just knew that I wanted my son to have a better upbringing than I did. So that was my ultimate goal. Is granted, I wanted to play basketball and I wanted to use that platform to get me to the end as far as getting my degree. That was my main goal, is getting a degree, getting my son, and us starting a different life that I ever had. So that was my ultimate goal.
Man, that's sweet. That's sweet. What was your major?
Human development.
Okay. So transitioning, man. Oh well, no, I got one more. I got another question about Virginia Tech. I really don't like talking about this school. Wood. It sucks. Anyway, I'm sorry. Excuse me. But Virginia Tech. What was your most memorable game? You gotta have one, or tell me a game or a moment that really sticks out where, like, it, it's a good moment out of your college career, or just, it don't have to be an individual moment either.
Probably senior night.
Okay.
Senior night was bittersweet. It was like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm almost done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get my degree, and I'm about to have my son full time. So that was probably like, it wasn't even really a basketball moment. It was just like a ending moment for me. Like, my career's over. I've done all I could do, and this is it. That's who I'm about to live my life for, is my son now. So that was probably one of my memorable moments.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So transitioning to from your recruitment to your son's recruitment, how different was it? Just from the point of view, like, okay, back then this is what happened, to now it's like with the internet and all that.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot different, just because with me, I was a sought after player. So there was a lot of things that, as a mom and as a mom of a kid that's about to go to college at the Division III level, a lot of stuff that I didn't know. I didn't know about loans, and I didn't know about, like the rule, like what a Division III school paid for compared to what I had to pay, what I had to not pay for. So that was a very, like, frustrating moment for me, because I didn't know. I had no idea. Like, literally all I did was sign my letter of intent, and I just walked on campus. Everything was provided for me.
Right.
And now I'm buying laptops and taking out, loans and this, that, and the third. So it's just like, mine was blown. Like, I was like, wow, this is not how I remember it.
Man, can you talk about a little bit about how proud were you as a mom to kind of watch Trayvon's progression? Because he's one of these kids that I feel like me and Linwood always talk about all the time. It's not where you start, it's kind of how you finish.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he's one of the guys I feel like that was a late bloomer.
Right.
And if he had a little bit more time, I think he could have struck up a little bit more interest too.
Yeah, he could have. We, like you said, with the whole school situation, where you can kind of transfer into any school you want to nowadays, but we tried all kind of different avenues. Middle school years, I was like, man, basketball ain't it. This ain't it. We gonna have to figure out something else, some kind of other activity, something, because it was not it. It was just different. Like, and even now, like, my passion for the game is, and he loves basketball, don't get me wrong, but like the way he plays and the way I played, I look at him sometimes, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Like, when I look at him, like his skill, like his footwork and stuff, like skill wise, he got me by a million points.
Right.
He had great, and I think that was the biggest thing with him being recruited, was he just has something that most kids just don't have. He's just like me, undersized post player, but he has crazy footwork that he can pretty much find his way to score on anybody.
Right.
So we had some rough high school years, and he didn't play that much, and he found Trent. What's Trent's last name? Lord, I feel bad because he played with Team Passion. Trent, he was his
Yeah, we
AU.
know Trent Fleming. We know Trent.
Yeah.
There we go. And I really commend him for the player that Traven is. Like, he never gave up on Traven. He pushed Traven. He treated Traven like he was his, he wasn't just his coach. He was like in his tail about everything. And he pushed Traven past what his limits. And I feel like he is probably one of the biggest contributors to where he's at now. So, he had only one other offer other than Maryville, and Maryville kind of passed on him earlier on in the season, but he got a dunk at the Campbell County game his senior year, and they started looking at him and coming out to his games and stuff like that. And he went on his visit to Warren Wilson out in almost outside of Asheville, and he liked it. He would have went there, I think, just if that would have been his only other way to play basketball in school, he probably would have went there. But
Right.
when Maryville got back on the radar and we went out there for a visit, even though it's a Division III school, like probably one of the best Division III schools in the country.
Right.
So, I was like, dude, you can't pass on this. Like, if you want to play ball, this is where it's going to have to be at. So I was like, I don't care how much it costs, what it's going to take, you going, if that's what you want to do. So that's where he's at. And he's doing well, and I miss him, and I didn't think I would miss him because this house gets very echoey, but
Echo.
Right.
he's happy and he's doing well in school. And, of course, with COVID and all this stuff, school's a lot different. So he's just like, Mom, I'm getting tired of all these Zoom classes and this, that, and the third. I was like, you ain't the only one. Hang in there. You got this. So, we'll try to meet up once a week. Like yesterday, we went bowling and just chilling and catching up, because he literally, like, if he comes home, it's just to grab something and, all right, Mom, or he'll try to come home when I'm not home so he don't have to stay here and chit chat with me. So, but, like I said, I miss him, and I don't feel like he's avoiding me, but, it's just him growing up, and I understand it. So we good.
So when is the last time y'all played one-on-one? And who won that game?
Well, we really haven't ever we played one-on-ones years ago, but of course, he can manhandle me. I'm old and beat up, and so yeah, I'll give it to him. He got me.
That's what's up, man. Man, like, so Ro, man, after, you come here and, we all kind of share something. We all have had a piece of something on this Zoom call here. I remember you were coaching at Northwest.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Ashley Young too, my girl Ash.
Ashley.
Y'all end up winning the championship, didn't you?
Yeah, we had Kiki McKinney, plays at Kentucky, and Quasia Hines. I think she's at Carson Newman now, maybe.
I'm not sure where she at right now.
But yeah, we won us a little middle school championship.
Was that your first coaching job, like school job, anything associated with school?
Yep. And now I'm out at King's Academy, which we had a state run last year. We lost in the championship game by like 5 points. So
what was that season like, man? Because I was hearing a lot about that team, man. Y'all was making a lot of noise, man. I was hearing a lot about that team. What was that year like last year?
Last year, Lord have mercy. Like you said, we had a squad. Squad. And, we got quite a few girls that's got, a lot of college getting recruited by a lot of schools and stuff. We had a tough sophomore, Jennifer Sullivan. She transferred on us, though. She's out at Bearden now, so y'all probably get to see her.
Okay, cool.
Special kid. She can hoop. And we got our point guard, Bailey Burgess, shooter, facilitator. Great. So, I mean, we got the Pfeiffer twins from out at, they're not twins, they're sisters, but I always call them twins. From, what's that little Carpenters? So,
Okay.
pretty another successful year. Got a tough post player that I, really hound on a lot. She'll be a junior this year. She got it. She just gotta chill out. Shaq, she can play, but her temper sometimes be killing me. But
Yeah.
we should, we should have a good year this year. Like I said, Jennifer was a big loss for us, but I think we can grind it out and hopefully get back there this year. I think we was like one of the only schools that actually got to have a state this year.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people were unable to play. So it was only did both private school divisions get to play?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it. That was fine with me since we got put out the game before the state. I didn't care less. I was kind of happy about it, to be honest with you.
You can't go, can't nobody go.
Hey, if we can't go, can't nobody go, baby. So, Ro, do you got any plans? Can I see you as a head coach one day?
I don't think my job would allow me to be a head coach just because, I don't work in the school. So, I mean, it's hard for me to get to practice now. So probably not, I probably got maybe another, I would say, with high school, maybe another year or two. And then I'm probably done.
What?
Unless something just, yeah. I don't know.
And maybe if they give me a job, I got two. Oh, here go two of my coaches right here. That's my coaching staff right here.
Boom.
What if you get a job? Hey, we right here. Look.
Right here.
It works.
But I mean, like, that's me talking now, but that's my thoughts.
I hear you, man. Man, Ro, we proud of you though, man. We super proud of you. I'm super proud of Traven, man. I'm just, seeing the young man that he's becoming, growing into himself. Tell us, is confident. He's more confident now and all, more sure of himself and all that kind of stuff. Is awesome, man. We like family, but you're an inspiration. Like I said, if any young ladies watching this, man, they can't say, you ain't an inspiration, man. Being a single mom and still being a student athlete, getting that degree, man, and then still working in the community too, outside of all the basketball. All the social service work you've done too. Man, I appreciate you.
Yes, that's big time. We definitely need that. Need more of that.
Yeah, for sure. So, man, Wood has been another fire episode of Power Forward.
Another great one.
Yes, sir, man. This Railing Wood with Power Forward with my girl, Ro. We signing off tonight, man. Ro, love you, Ro.
Love y'all. Take care.